Alright, people, well, reportedly, Thor 5 is now officially in development. I think this, we kind of saw this coming. Obviously, Thor Love and Thunder came out a little over a year ago now, July 2022. Everybody hated it for the most part, but there were post-credit scenes that set up Brett Goldstein as Hercules in the MCU, of course, setting up that he was going to go after Thor, and we were going to finally get that battle in live action. It's going to be really cool, but we have heard nothing about it since the release of Love and Thunder. There's been no official confirmation, but I mean, for those of you that may have been panicking about, oh my god, they're not doing Thor 5 because a lot of people didn't like the movie. Well, I mean, to be fair, everybody loves Shang-Chi, and they still haven't, technically officially announced Shang-Chi 2, or a Doctor Strange 3, or an Eternals 2, but most of those are probably in development, we're assuming, and, we've heard reports of that actually being the case. So Thor 5 is happening, and now the official movie special book for Thor Love and Thunder is finally releasing. I think it comes out officially this September, but somehow there was like a sneak peek out there or something, and in there was Taika Waititi talking about Thor 5 and talking about how he is doing Thor 5, and a lot of people I've been seeing today with this news are pretty upset about this. Like, My Time to Shine Hello, literally when tweeting about this, said, unfortunately, Taika Waititi is going to direct the movie. She said something like, it's not officially a done deal, but unfortunately. Like, what is this unfortunately? I mean, I get it. A lot of people did not like Thor Love and Thunder, and that's completely fair. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. But I just hate how after one bad movie, again, according to the general consensus, Taika Waititi is suddenly just like the worst director ever. Like, I hate that. Like, Thor Ragnarok is like one of my favorite, probably, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely like probably top 3, like one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time. I love Thor Ragnarok. Taika Waititi directed that. Sure, he also directed Thor Love and Thunder, and that was not great, but that's like the one stain in his career. Like, everything else that he's directed or worked on has been amazing. Like, this is a top tier director, and I just hate how unfairly he's being so brutally punished for this, when it's like, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and also part of it was kind of Kevin Feige's fault, because, I mean, Taika Waititi, he's a great director, but he does definitely need to be kind of reined in a bit, but he just had complete, total creative control with this movie, with Love and Thunder, and that was a bit of an issue. I mean, the same thing happened with Patty Jenkins on Wonder Woman 1984, that first movie, one of the best DC movies of all time. That second one of the worst DC movies of all time. And again, these studio executives, as we know, to an extent, need to rein in these directors. We don't want to have the total studio interference, because we've also seen how that can go terribly. You just need the nice balance there. And, they got that to work out perfectly for Ragnarok, just, not so much of Love and Thunder. So hopefully we can do that again with Thor 5. I mean, give Taika Waititi a full Thor trilogy. He learned his lesson, he made his mistakes, now he can see what worked, what didn't, and hopefully channel it into a good Thor 5 movie. Now, one of the things he was talking about here specifically is the villain, because he was talking about how for Thor 5, he would have to do a villain that is more powerful than Hela. Now, Hela, of course, was the villain in Thor Ragnarok, and she was very extremely powerful. I mean, she literally destroyed Mjolnir, and arguably is more powerful than Thor. That argument can be made. Now, the interesting thing here, notice how he doesn't say more powerful than Gore, which, I mean, Gore was pretty powerful in the comics, especially with All Black, the Necro Sword, but, we saw what happened with Thor Love and Thunder. That character was brutally underdone. So Hela is a good standard to do, like, somebody more powerful than Hela, but who could be more powerful than Hela? Because, I mean, you look up Thor villains, and, like, most of the big ones have been done. And there's really not a whole lot of options left. I remember it was before Thor Ragnarok came out, like when we first heard about the movie being in development, the main villain I wanted to have for that movie was the Enchantress, which I thought would have been really cool. One of my favorite Thor villains. But she's a character that, first of all, is not anywhere near more powerful than Hela was. And second, I just think there wouldn't really be any point to her anymore, because it would just be like another female Thor villain. And on top of that, it's like, Sylvie from the Loki Disney Plus series is already... Sylvie is an original character for the MCU, but she's an amalgamation from Lady Loki and Enchantress from the comics. So we already basically have Enchantress in the MCU. They already did Executioner as well. So really, I think the most realistic place I think they can go with this, other than obviously doing the whole Hercules storyline in here, is the Serpent, aka Kull Borson. This guy is Thor's uncle, the brother of Odin. And I think it just makes perfect sense that after Ragnarok and Love and Thunder, Odin is dead. We now have a new king of Asgard. It's Valkyrie. And, after the whole Hela thing, Odin hid so much from Thor and Loki. I would not be surprised if there's another evil family member that we are suddenly finding out about. There's other siblings that Thor has in the comics as well that could all of a sudden pop up as well. We get some Balder the Brave in here, some Angela. So I think the Serpent is the character that would make the most sense to play this role and to be the villain of this movie. An extremely powerful character. And just think about it. Hela was a really powerful character, but she's the daughter of Odin. So since you want somebody more powerful than that, you go up the family tree, you go to Odin is dead and a good guy, so his brother, Thor's sister was bad enough, but Thor's uncle, that's when you're getting down and dirty right there. So anyway, I could totally see that being the storyline here. Have it be that, you have the whole Hercules thing going on. Hercules and Thor, they fight. Obviously Hercules would end up getting redeemed. He'd end up probably working with Thor to help him take down the Serpent. But again, that's just my theory. I think that would be interesting to do. There's not a whole lot of other well-known Thor villains in the comics, but they could, for all we know, pull an Ant-Man and the Wasp and give us a villain of another character. Ghost was never an Ant-Man villain. Ghost was an Iron Man villain, so they could give us a villain of a different character. You never know. But I am excited for this. I'm really excited for Thor 5. I love the casting of Brett Goldstein as Hercules. That is just absolutely perfect, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I know a lot of people didn't love Thor Love and Thunder, but I'm excited to give Taika another chance. I'm excited to see what he can do with his third Thor movie, Thor 5, end out his trilogy, or maybe it would be 4 movies just to bring it up to 6, so it's technically 2 trilogies. I don't know, we will see, but I'm really excited for this. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Thor 5? Are you glad we are getting this movie? What do you think about Taika Waititi directing? Do you have any other director choices, or are you happy? Are you content with Taika coming back? And who do you think could be a villain more powerful than Hela to take on Thor? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.